We are all coming from Vrindavan, except one. One is here from Edison, from New Jersey. This is Sri Rupa Prabhu, who is spearheading this entire group. This is Abhay Nitai Prabhu, and the one who is harmonium is Keshavacharya.
Hare Krishna.
So these three of them actually they serve in pilgrim care, preaching. I serve cows. Somehow they called me this side to come with them so that I can get some benefit of meeting all of you. May I know your name, Prabhuji?
Sure.
Sure. You are from this place.
I am from Edison.
What do you do?
I am into IT.
She's a good wife.
She is my wife. Yeah.
You also work
Yeah, part-time I
IT?
No, not IT. Like I work in school.
That's nice. Mataji, how you glad? So your good name?
Shikha.
Shika. So you also do some, you work in some IT, some job?
CA.
CA?
Yeah.
Wow. That's,
Working with numbers. I'm Gaurav's wife.
oh, that's nice. So today we were actually discussing about something Bhagavad Gita today, and we thought we will continue our discussion here also. Do we have a Bhagavad Gita at home? Do we have Bhagavad Gita? Can I have a copy? So Bhagavad Gita, the name itself indicates Bhagavad Gita. That is a song sung by the God, Supreme Lord. It's called as a Bhagavad Gita.
Hey, come here for a second.
I hope all of you have Bhagavad Gita at home.
Yeah.
I hope all of you read. That's the next question.
Yeah. Yes. I read half of it.
Right off of it. So you continue to read.
I'm just sitting.
Not sure if we understand it properly, but we will read it.
Reading is more important. I can, with my own experience, I can tell
Yeah.
it is difficult to understand our own words. We'll continue to understand.
That is impossible.
We'll continue to understand.
Bhagavad Gita may be easy.
I come from South India. In my language.
You may not even have that experience. You have that experience?
I do have.
Okay. Then yeah, it's a different thing.
So in South India, in my language, they say, ఇసుక నుంచి తైలం తీయచ్చు కానీ ఆడవాళ్ళ మనసు కనపడడం కష్టం. Means from the sand you can take oil, but it is difficult to find what's going on in the heart of a woman. So that's the saying in my language. So from the sand also one can take out the oil, but it's so difficult to find out what's going on in women's heart or women's mind. So, as it is so difficult understanding the woman's heart, so Bhagavad Gita, as you said, it is not so difficult. So our job is to read Bhagavad Gita. We read, giving, as I was telling there in the previous place, giving us the understanding, remembrance, or forgetfulness, it all depends on Krishna. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, Matta Smriti Jnanam Upohanam Cha. So I am the one who gives you the remembrance, I am the one who gives you the forgetfulness. That is Krishna's job. Our job is to do the activity. That's what Krishna is telling Arjuna actually. You fight. Don't worry about whether you are going to win the war or you are going to lose the war. That's not your job. That is my duty. I take care of it. Your job is to fight. So do your activity. We have something similar verse in Bhagavad Gita. Anybody remembers that? Karmanyevadikadasya mapaleshu radhasya. Krishna tells you are entitled to do your job, but not for the results. Results is all up to him, it's not for us actually. So we all chanted now Hare Krishna mantra. So this mantra, as we chant, it's supposed to gives us the peace of mind. But it is echoing. It gives us the peace of mind. So in the Sanskrit, mantra it calls as man iti trayate mantraha. That is which liberates the mind from anxiety. That is called mantra. Man iti trayate mantraha. So that means when we chant this mantra, it should liberate our mind from anxiety. We can find the similar words also. Like I was talking about the Kshatra, Putra. So mantra, Kshatra, Putra, all these things it comes. Putra means Punnama Narakadi iti trayate putra. So Putra means the son. Son, the meaning of the son in Sanskrit is that Punnama Narakadi iti trayate putra, who liberates the parents from going to Punnama Naraka. There is a one hellish planet known as a Pun. So when there is a son, and the son performs the final rites, then parents will not go to that hellish planets. So they can go to the other planets, maybe Swargaloka or some other place. Similarly, the Kshatra, Chat iti trayate Kshatraha, who liberates the citizens from anxiety, that is known as Kshatriya. So when we chant this mantra, as we said, it liberates our mind from anxiety, but somebody can ask the question, we keep chanting this mantra, still we are not being liberated from anxiety. Still, we all have the anxiety. Even for that matter, as Prabhu is talking about, you don't have the problem of understanding your wife, but still we have the problem. I do have the problem. So that is called as an anxiety. Does not mean that wife is the one who gives us the anxiety. It's vice versa also. Husband also gives anxiety to wife. They have their own set of problems with us. And we have our own set of problems. So as such, if you chant this mantra, it does not, we are seeing that we are not really liberated from the anxiety. Then why? How come then its definition is that it is liberating our mind from anxiety? Because this anxiety is not in this lifetime. We are carrying this from lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. We continue to carry this. So just like if somebody is suffering with a liver disease, and according to Ayurveda, so one takes jaundice, if somebody gets a jaundice, which is basically liver is having a problem. In the jaundice, whatever you taste, it tastes bitter. I don't know how many of you got the jaundice. I didn't get any time, but my niece, she got a jaundice. So whatever she eats, even sugar also, she finds it bitter. So difficult during the jaundice time. They feel like eating because hunger so much, but they can't eat. When they try to taste, it tastes so bitter. But according to Ayurveda, sugarcane juice is the medicine. But that also tastes bitter. But then as we keep taking sugarcane juice, slowly, the jaundice goes down and one gets the taste of sugarcane juice, that is sweetness of sugarcane juice. Similarly, as we keep chanting Hare Krishna mantra, and slowly, our anxiety goes down, or our conditioning goes down, and one we get the taste of chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Now, at least the Prabhu is taken up this process almost for more than 20-25 years he is chanting. So there may be something which he is getting it, otherwise he won't be chanting this. Just understand one thing, we are all working in some companies. Nobody can force you to work if you are not liking it, even to the job, because job is the one which is maintaining your family. You get the salary from that and you maintain your family. But nobody can force you to do that job if you don't like it. So even the job where you are getting maintenance, remuneration to maintain your family, that itself is you cannot do it. But then how come somebody is forcing this prabhuji to do this activity for last 25 years? Which is means that he is getting something from this, and that's how he is practicing this bhakti or chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Then is he liberated from anxiety? No. Because as we are, no, he may be also, I'm sorry, I'm just taking this example. I'm not saying him as such, I'm talking about myself also. For me, I can say no, but for him, I don't know, I cannot say anything about him. Am I being liberated from the anxiety? It says that as you are practicing a devotional service, you are actually going to the hospital and you are undergoing the treatment. So as you undergo the treatment, when you go to the hospital, you don't find everybody in hospital is very healthy and very happy. They are walking above the ground, 5 inches above the ground. No, they are not haris there. They are all suffering. If you go to the hospital and see, people are suffering there. Because they are undergoing through the treatment. So slowly the treatment takes effect and they may be cured from the disease what they are having it. So similarly, as we practice the devotional service, this is the process which we are going through, in the process of curing our conditioning or whatever we are having it. So in the process, as we keep doing it, as I said, slowly, the liver disease goes down, one gets the taste of the sweetness of sugar cane juice. And the same way, as we keep continuing this process, as I said, Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, Karmanyavadika, so you do your duty. Our duty is to perform a devotional service. As we perform a devotional service, and slowly our disease condition goes down. In this material world, whatever we do, we are all in a diseased condition. In a sense, we are all suffering from so many things. In Sanskrit, it's called as kama, krodha, lobha, moha, yes.
Lust, karma is also material, right?
Doing karma is a material, yes. Lust, envy, greed, all these things. Doing karma, that is your duty, you are doing it. It is, everything is in this material world is a material, except Harinam. Somebody dies in North India, when they take the person, their body, they say one thing, what is that? Ram Satya hai. That is the only truth. Does not mean that rest of the things are lies. They are also truth, but they are temporary. So whatever we have in this material world, pardon me saying this, wife, husband, children, everything is temporary. There is nothing permanent. This house is not permanent. In a sense, when you come after 20 years, it may not be there. There may be some other building in this place. Or this house must have been renovated, looks up a new house in a different shape it can be. So everything is changing in this material world. Nothing is permanent as such. So when nothing is permanent, even when you do the activity, that activity also impermanent. So whatever you do in this material world, that is impermanent, including karma also. Bhagavad Gita actually essentially teaches 5 subject matters. One is the God, another one is the time, and third one is jiva, and fourth one is karma. What is the last one? No. Kala I said. God, Ishvara, Jiva, Karma, Time, Prakriti. So these are the 5 things. Now if you look at all these 5 things, God is permanent. There is no change. Jiva, we are all Jivas. Are we permanent? No. This body is not permanent, but we are permanent. We are eternal. Our constitutional position is Jivera Swarupai Krishnera Nityadas. Otherwise, we can call it as Satchit Ananda. We are also. We are eternal, full of bliss and full of knowledge. Satchit Ananda. So Jiva is also eternal. Kala is also eternal. There is no change in the time. Time is always present. Prakriti is always present. Only thing that is temporary is karma. So with that karma, we can change our fate. But then at every point of time, at any point of time, we have a choice whether to do this activity or to do that activity. So essentially, actually today I wanted to discuss about Bhagavad Gita teaches so many things, like just in the last program we were discussing about how Krishna is teaching Arjuna that do your duty, don't really worry about what's going to be the result. But Krishna also tells us so many things in Bhagavad Gita. So as I said, we are all in anxiety, but then as we start practicing bhakti, or as we start chanting Hare Krishna mantra, or as we start reading Bhagavad Gita, your stress can go away. Krishna tells to Arjuna about the stress points in Bhagavad Gita, how one can come out of stress. So he talks about the three things Krishna basically talks about in Bhagavad Gita. And those three things, one, when we start following these 3 points, one can be relieved from the stress. So Krishna talks about, the first one is no expectations. Don't expect anything from the activity you are doing it. You do your duty, but don't expect any results from that activity. We should be concentrate on doing how best we can do this activity, but then not expecting any results from that activity. That he talks about in chapter 2 and text number 47. Let me see that if I can find it out. Yes, that's what we discussed about. Karmanyevaadikarasya ma paleshu kadachana ma karma palaheturvi ma te sango akarmanya. What is saying in English? Krishna says, you have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the result of your activities, and never be attached to not doing the activity, not doing your activity. So you have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. So we are not entitled to the fruits of action. We can do our best as such. We need not really look for what is going to be the results. But we always try to look for the results, whatever the activity we do. Like when we say, please chant Hare Krishna mantra, then the first thing comes to us is what I get if I chant Hare Krishna mantra. We may ask nicely, Prabhuji, what happens if we chant Hare Krishna mantra? Then I have to tell you something so that you can take one step. I will say, Prabhuji, if you chant Hare Krishna mantra, all your anxieties will go away. Oh, is it? Then I will check. And after 2 days you come back and Prabhuji, my anxieties are not going down, still I have the anxieties. What to do? Say, no, chant more, then it will go down. You may practice after 1 year or 2 years, still your anxieties are not gone, but still you are coming and asking me. Because that's our thing, that we are thinking that, okay, if I perform this activity, this is the results I am supposed to get. Once it happened that one person is staying in a village next to a small hill. So this person is worried about the hill all the time. As he was praying to the God, one day God appeared to him, and then God tells him, you keep, from tomorrow onwards, you keep pushing this hill. And he says, yes, I will do it. So God has come and told me, so I will do it. So every day he is trying to go and push the hill. So one day one person came, after some many years, one person came and he said, what are you doing? He said, I am trying to push this hill because God told me to push the hill. Then he says, he laughs at him and tells him that, what are you doing? You see, the hill is not moved even an inch also. But you simply daily were doing the same job of no use. Then he is dejected and he stopped doing that activity. And the God appears again and then asks him, what happened, why you are not doing it? And he says, because he did not move not an inch also. But since it is your order, I started doing it. Then the Lord tells him that, I told you to just push the hill, not to tell you to, not to move the hill as such. I didn't tell you to move the hill, I told you just push the hill. Now see your body now, how strong you become just by pushing the hill. So we tend to look for results all the time, but not the activity itself. So that is one of the problem which we face in our life. Even though we pray to the Supreme Lord, but we really don't believe in the words of the Supreme Lord. It is like another beautiful example comes. Once there are some group of people, they were trying to climb the icy mountain. So as they're climbing, actually they have these pegs. They try to hit the pegs, tie the rope to that so that, and that rope is always tied to their waist so that they won't fall down. So as they keep going up and up, at certain points they keep hitting these pegs. So they hit the pegs. The one person, it happened that he slipped and then he started falling down. And the pegs could not hold his weight and they are also falling with him. But at some place, because of one peg he hit very strongly, he was holding onto that peg. Now he is in the air. And then he started praying to the Lord, oh Lord, if you are there, please save me, please help me. Then the Lord said, there is a voice from the sky and said, my dear son, yes, I am there. Do you believe me fully? He says, yes, I believe you. Do you want me to help me? Do you want me to help you? He says, yes. He said, then just leave the rope. You don't worry, I will catch you. But then he's so scared because in the middle of the night, he don't know how far he is above from the earth. So he could not do it. Then he started asking, anybody else is there to help me? So in the morning they found this person dead, lying, which is close to the earth, just 2-3 feet above from the earth. So he is at that place, but still he could not believe the words of the Lord. So even though we think we pray to the Supreme Lord and then we believe him, but it is so difficult for us to believe the Supreme Lord. So the first point Krishna tells Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita is that don't keep any expectations when you are doing your duty. Do your duty to your best capacity, but then don't really worry about the results. And the second one Krishna talks to Arjuna is that don't compare yourself with others. This is the constant anxiety for most of the living entities in this material world. We always try to compare ourselves with others. Even when you see the success in this material world is not according to our own thoughts. These are all brought upon to us by others to harm to us. It's like for us, especially for those coming from India, success means maybe 2-3 things only. Engineer, doctor,
Lawyer.
lawyer is not normal, probably CA. Accountant, yes. Otherwise only 2, engineer or doctor. Engineer or doctor, nothing else. What you want to make your son or daughter? If it is a son, it's engineer. If it's a daughter, doctor. Or any one of these things. That is the only success. So this is, we borrowed upon others onto us. Actually, if you ask, even I did engineering in my life. But it's not mine actually. That is, my father wanted me to engineering, so I did engineering. After all these things, now I am serving the cause. I feel that is what I wanted to do from my childhood, probably. Because I am enjoying, I am happy now. I'm not getting the money how much engineer may get, but yes, I'm satisfied, I'm happy, I'm enjoying. So the Krishna tells Arjuna, do not compare yourself with others as such. Because as we start comparing with others, then it will be difficult for us to understand what is the success or what we wanted to do. That actually Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita in Arjuna, that comes I think in the 3rd chapter, 35th verse, where Krishna tells Arjuna about yes, the English I will just read. It is far better to discharge one's prescribed duties, even though faultily, than another's duty perfectly. Destruction in the course of performing one's own duty is better than engaging in another's duty, for to follow another's path is dangerous. Hare Krishna. Taking too much time?
No, actually we have to go somewhere else, so we came here first to
Thank you very
Darshan.
much. Thank you.
It was really nice, good experience. Thank you.
So that is the second one which Krishna talks about. Maybe we can quickly wrap around. Then the last one, Krishna tells Arjuna, is that regulating our lifestyle, balancing our lifestyle. We may not be able to balance our lifestyle because we don't have proper priorities in our life. Some of them we take it as others as our priority, and then we try to keep them in our life. So that's where then it becomes so difficult for us. We need to have the priorities in our life. What is that we think that is the top priority in our life? And that we should be doing it properly. So then our life becomes free from the stress as such. Because we are taking others' priorities as our priorities, and that's where we don't feel really peaceful as such. That Krishna tells in the 6th chapter, that is the 7th verse. Now let me see what is 17. युक्ताहार विहारस्य युक्तचेतस्य कर्मसु युक्त स्वप्नवबोधस्य योग bhavati dukkha. He who is regulated in his habits, eating, sleeping, recreation and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. It's not that yoga Krishna is telling us, but then regulating our habits. What is important for us when you start doing that? Not for others as such, but our own sake, then we will be free from the anxiety, we will be free from the stress in our life. So along with that, as we keep practicing this devotional service, as I said, it is not that we are not getting something, we are not getting anything from this. There is something which everybody is getting as we practice the devotional service. So if you have any questions or comments. Today I didn't speak generally. I thought I will take some specific subject and then talk. If you have any questions or comments, so please.
So Prabhuji, if you don't focus on the result, then the motivation is also not there sometimes to do the process. That the process takes a long time, and sometimes it can take long time, and then it can be discouraging if you don't have a goal in mind or the result. So how do you keep yourself motivated?
As such, whenever you perform any activity, you don't perform activity for the sake of activity as such. There is a goal. With that goal, you start performing that activity.
Isn't the goal the result?
The goal is not the result. Achieving the goal, that is the result. But then you have the goal in your mind, you start working towards that goal. You are achieving that goal or not achieving the goal is not what we need to worry about. Like if somebody wants to study or get good marks. The one should study for to get the good marks. But then getting the good marks, whether 90% or 95%, 98%, is not in our hand. That is in Krishna's hand. You do your duty to work well, so that study well, so that you get 95 marks, or for 100 marks you study. But the exam results is up to the teacher and up to the Krishna, not to others. So yes, there is a goal for all the activities whatever we are doing it. Goal may change also in the course of time, but then yes, there is a goal always. Like for example, when you talk about how one can bring somebody into bhakti, we cannot simply tell them that you do this service for the sake of pleasure of Krishna, then nobody is ready to do that. So we try to give them certain things like, oh, see, if you actually practice bhakti, then you don't go through these miseries in this lifetime. So you go to Goloka Vrindavan where there are no miseries, every word is like a song, every step is like a dance, and then there is everywhere Chintamani, diamonds, and then everybody is so beautiful. And that's what stick to their mind, and they start practicing for the process, for their purpose. But then as they keep practicing bhakti, then that becomes the secondary actually. As you start practicing it. Like just like in the marriage, as I was giving this example, in arranged marriage, there is a wife and husband. Both are strangers. They come together at one point of time to become like a partners, a lifetime partners. Initially there is no love for them, but there is social binding in the form of a marriage. But then there are the duties given to them. Wife performs certain duties, husband performs certain duties. As they keep performing these duties, slowly there is another component that develops amongst them is love. Then as the love develops, the duties may become secondary, but the love becomes as the primary of their relationship as such. So the duties, that is immaterial, duties may interchange also. Husband's duty, wife may be doing it, wife's duty, husband may be doing it. And the same way, as we practice the devotional service, initially there are the duties, there are the rules and regulations, but as we keep practicing it, then the duties becomes a secondary, the love becomes as the primary. So then one becomes as very, very enlivened to perform that activity just for the sake of pleasing the Supreme Lord. Just like husband performs the activity for the pleasure of his wife performs the activities for the pleasure of the husband. They are really not really looking for their own pleasure. But seeing the husband pleased, that is the wife's pleasure. And same way, the bhakta, when he performs certain activity, understanding this activity pleases the Supreme Lord, he is pleased, he or she is pleased. That is the same thing. Hope that helps.
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
Thank you. Yes.
Hare Krishna, very nice class. In the second lesson that Krishna teaches us of how to be free from anxiety, you mentioned not to try to compare with anybody. And then you mentioned the beautiful verse from Bhagavad Gita of not trying to do another person's occupation. So what does that mean?
What does that mean? And Krishna is talking about in a way to Arjuna, because Arjuna, he do not want to fight, he want to go and beg. And Arjuna, according to his varna, he is the Kshatriya. Kshatriya's duty is to fight, is to protect the citizen. That is the duty of a Kshatriya. So Krishna is telling you, do your duty, even though imperfectly, than doing somebody else's duty perfectly. So you don't do the begging, because even if you do the begging, Arjuna by nature he is a Kshatriya. After some days, again he comes back to his Kshatriya dharma, because that is a temporary phase. Why? Because Arjuna is seeing his grandfather, his brothers and his fathers, his uncles, he don't want to fight, he want to run away from the battlefield, which we call them in modern language is called as escapism. He want to escape the situation and he want to run away from that situation. So Krishna is understanding Arjuna's mind, and his swabhava is being a Kshatriya. You cannot change your swabhava so quickly. So that's why Krishna is telling Arjuna, you don't try to do somebody else's job. You do your job properly. If you try to apply this to us, we have our own swabhava. According to your swabhava, you act. Don't act for others' swabhava. Don't act taking others' swabhava onto you and then do that activity. And that will cause a destruction. Like I was hearing S.B. Keshav Maharaj, he talks about it. He's saying that in one of the church there is a saying, every saint has his past, every sinner has the future. So there is swabhava of a saint at some point of time, but then yes, by regulating his habits, he could be able to change it. Similarly, the sinner also can change his swabhava and slowly he can become a good personality as such. So we tend to bring others' thoughts onto us. That's what we are talking about. Success in this material world is given to us by our parents, by our society, by our peers, is that we think that that is the success, what they are thinking. We don't think about ourselves. What is that satisfies me? And then if you try to follow that, that is wonderful success. Hope that helps. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Lord.
Is it different for Vishwamitra, Brahma Rishi Vishwamitra, because he was a Kshatriya? And he became a Brahma Rishi because he was obsessed with Vasishtha, right? So, how did his Swabhava change, and then he changed his Varna itself?
Swabhava can be changed, but it takes a long time. Vishwamitra, he has not changed in overnight.
Yeah.
It almost took him thousands of years to change his Swabhava. There are so many things like that, so many, not only in Kali Yuga, in every Yuga, everybody by birth is a Shudra. We say Kalo Shudra Sambhavaha, but then actually not only in Kali Yuga, in every Yuga, everybody is taken birth as a Shudra, but by training, they slowly they tend to develop certain Swabhava. Now if you go to see, actually it's not that Brahmana's son is always a Brahmana, or they're always in the Swabhava of a Brahmana. If you go to see, actually Ravana is a Brahmana, and Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, these are also sons of the Brahmanas. They are kings. Indra is also king. He is a Kshatriya, but then actually he is born to the Brahmana. So his Swabhava, even though he is born to Brahmana, his Swabhava is a Kshatriya. Yes, Vishwamitra, he changed his Swabhava because he wanted to become a Brahmana. Then it took so long for him to practice Brahmanical activities, and slowly he changed into as a Brahmana. But then yes, there is again, further if you go to see deep, there is a reason for Vishwamitra to become as a Brahmana, because he needed for Lord Ram to come for him, and then he can train Lord Ram. Even though he is a Brahmana, but he is having those skills of Kshatriya skills, that's where he trains Lord Ram and Lakshman in those martial arts during the time when he takes them to kill the Rakshasas. So there is a purpose for Vishwamitra to become from Kshatriya to Brahmana, so that he can assist Lord Ram in his pastime. So if you go to see, I think you are all watching Kurukshetra TV serial in Netflix.
No.
I am not watching.
You are not watching, but in the discussion somehow I found.
I don't even know if it is there.
Is it? But doing in your house, you are watching it. Yeah. I could sense that thing here, and we are discussing it. So, if you see that Kurukshetra, actually, that it's a good serial. It's not bad actually. Very wonderful they are taken. There are so many things happened at so long, much before Krishna appeared or Pandavas appeared. But then everything culminates in Kurukshetra war. That's how the Srishti, they say, then Rachana, it has been done in a way that for everything there is a purpose behind it. So even though we all think that we are insignificant, no, every living entity is so significant in the process of this creation. We are not immaterial, we are all really needed for this creation. provided if we assist the Supreme Lord in the process of His creation.
Sorry.
So there is a reason for all of us to appear, and there is an activity which we can do to fulfill the mission of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that same thing is which we can see in Vishwamitra's time. It has happened so long, but then finally that culminates when Lord Ram appears and then he trains Lord Ram. Hope that helps, Prabhuji?
Yeah. No, that connection I was not able to.
Yes.
But how is like everybody, this Kali Yuga, like they say, just taking Lord's name, you will be liberated, right? But Kali Purusha is so strong. It's not easy to perform the dharma. Like, in fact, I would say the definition of dharma itself is different for different people. So it is so confusing. Okay, every day I feel sometimes dharma definition changes. What is exact dharma? How do we know? Okay, that we are not moving 1 inch from this side or that side. Perfectly, like, okay, you are following dharma.
Even Yudhishthira also could not do it. What to speak about ourselves?
No.
No, but
Travel.
Kali Yuga is more and more
Kali is a
distractful. Kali Purusha is always like sitting and like I was reading about Parikshit Maharaj. So I got literally more confused. Okay, that okay, today if we see, it is so difficult. Okay, that okay, whatever we read, is this the correct dharma or is it not? Because maybe 3 days back I was satisfied with one reading, and suddenly I listened to someone else or somebody else's interpretation. Now you suddenly feel